What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and this weekend I'm going to be live from Virginia. So if you guys know about any thrift stores that I should be hitting up, definitely drop that in the comment section. But right now I'm sitting outside of Goodwill, so hopefully there's some good stuff in here. So as usual, make sure that you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so as soon as I walked into this thrift store, I went straight to the electronics section because, as you guys know, I've been doing really well selling used electronics lately. This thrift store in particular is pretty dry. I haven't seen any really good items. Nothing really stood out to me. But then I came across this VHS and DVD combo, and this one was from a brand I've never sold before, SV2000. But just after checking the comps, I was seeing that similar ones were selling for like 90 bucks plus shipping. Some were selling for about 100 bucks plus shipping. And the good thing is that it included the remote control as well. So I usually would have grabbed something like that up, but since I was out of town, I ended up just passing on it, mainly because I didn't want to travel with that or, spend any money shipping it back. But just wanted to give you guys some more like store footage just so you guys can see what the store was about. But it was pretty dry in there. This weekend in particular was raining like it was raining like crazy. So I definitely needed to grab up a pair of these. I like to call them shoe covers. I was just super lucky, super blessed to even come across a pair of these in my size in this thrift store. So I put those to good use for that wedding that I was attending. So hit up a different thrift a few miles away and came across a pair of Huaraches, and these were pretty good condition. These were selling for right around 70 bucks. Some were selling them for a little more as well, but I seen a comp really quickly for 70. So definitely gonna be grabbing up that pair. And here was a pair of Vans in some decent condition. It looked like it was probably worn maybe a few times. Nothing too crazy with these. And the shoes, as you guys seen, were on sale. So definitely going to have to grab this pair up as well. Probably you'll get maybe 50 to 60 bucks for this after cleaning it up. Maybe closer to 40, but they were only asking $5 for those. So I figured it was worth a shot. Next up, came across a pair of these Ariat cowboy boots. And Ariat is a really good brand to be on the lookout for. They sell some clothing and boots as well. I sell way more Ariat boots than I actually do clothing, but this pair of boots was selling for right around 80 bucks plus shipping. This size 15 were a little too big to fit in the suitcase. You're only asking $5 for those, so I probably would have grabbed these up if I was, in Arizona, but it is what it is. I'm gonna just pass on those, but figured I might as well share that brand with you guys in case you guys weren't familiar with that one. And here were just some small blank media. I love picking these up because I sell a ton of camcorders, and these always add some value to it as well. And they're only asking 78 cents a piece for those, so I just went ahead and grabbed up all four. Alright, y'all, so now we are back in AZ, back to my old stomping grounds, more familiar for me. Came across some jerseys, but these were all just terrible fakes. But I know a lot of people always ask me, how do you spot out fake jerseys? How are you like good at spotting out the real ones from the fake? And for me, it's all about the stitching and the overall quality. As you guys can see, there was just a ton of just awkward stitching. Some of the tags were just kind of crooked. So I just wanted to let you guys see some of the close-ups on those, but you really just have to just use some of your better judgment and just know that any official NFL jersey isn't going to have loose stitching or a crooked tag or anything like that. So you kind of just got to spot out some of the more finer details, especially with something like this. As you guys can see, the size was kind of crooked. It wasn't centered. Even this tag, the green stitching was crooked as well. Same thing with all of these other jerseys. They're all pretty much the same kind of terrible quality of fakes. I've seen some really good fakes, but then when you see jerseys like this, these are just dead giveaways. So just in case that you guys weren't familiar and didn't know what to look for, these are just really good examples of some fakes. And they're asking a ton of money for these, so of course I just put all of those back. Next up, came across this shirt from the brand Roar, and I used to sell a ton of these when I lived in Cali. I think that was when these were more trendy. I used to pick these shirts up for like $4 or $5, sell them anywhere between like 35 to 45 bucks depending on the print. They were asking $13 for this one, so it was an immediate pass. But drop a comment if you guys still pick up that brand and if it's still selling well for you. Next, came across this Nintendo GameCube, and this was dope because this was my first time finding one of those, so I just hope that it works. So I'm definitely gonna have to grab that one up. And came across a ton of Wii's. It was actually 4 in total, and this one was complete, so I was able to sell that one for 85 bucks. This one here was actually missing the sensor bar, so if anyone knows anywhere where I can get a bunch of sensor bars, like in a lot of 10, that'll be really clutch. You can drop that in the comment section for me. And that one actually sold, but the buyer asked me to cancel it, and then as soon as I relisted it, it ended up selling right when I was recording this video. So That was really cool. That doesn't always happen to me because I usually don't send out offers on items, but for that particular reason, I'm just glad that it's still sold. And then this one was one of those universal remotes from Logitech. The good thing about this one was that it was actually open box, and I was still able to sell it for 75 bucks. All right, y'all. So I grabbed up a ton of stuff before they even was able to put some of these items out on the shelf. That Mrs. Pac-Man game should sell for about 20. This PS1 controller should also sell for about 20 bucks, and came up on two of these Xbox controllers. I usually always sell those for about 25, but this one was an aftermarket one, so I ended up passing on this one. Not to say that it wouldn't sell, but they usually do take a little longer to sell, mainly because they're aftermarket, so most people don't care for those. But the good thing is that it did have the dongle attached to it, and that's one of the biggest things you got to look for when you're selling these Xbox controllers, because sometimes it's just missing that extra attachment. So just make sure those are there. But then I came across this PS3 that was in really good condition, and they were only asking 20 bucks for that one, so definitely going to be grabbing that one up. I got a bunch of extra cables in the house, but this is something new for me. I usually don't pick up sports cards, but as you guys know, these are super trendy now, and they even had some that were in cases, so I'm definitely going to have to grab these up, especially since the risk is so low. And hopefully I come across something that's good, something that's worth a little money, but I'll just test it out and see. So we're in the clothing section now, and I came across one of my favorite brands to sell. This is a pair of shorts from the brand Cool, and they priced these kind of high. They were asking 9 bucks for these, but the good thing is that these already sold for $29.99 plus $8 shipping, and it sold with like 2 or 3 days after putting those up, so that was a really good find. But here was a really interesting pair of shorts. This was a pair of Syracuse basketball shorts. They were asking $12.99 for these. Once again, pretty pricey, but I know that these were going to be selling for at least 50 to 60 bucks, because I sold similar pairs in the past for that price point. But the good thing is that I actually seen the same exact pair of shorts sell for $199 on eBay. So I'm just gonna have to price mine high and wait for the right buyer to come along. Next up, came across this pair of suspenders from the brand Trafalgar, and I usually always pick these up if I can find them for a good price. This pair in particular did have a small stain, and this style overall was kind of simple, so I'll probably get anywhere between 20 to 25. But when they have more of an intricate design and some more detail, I sell them for sometimes 60 to 70 bucks, depending on the design, of course. And here was a pair of Nike sneakers. I thought these were a vintage pair, but since it was missing the laces, that was just enough for me to put those back, because I realized over the course of a few years of doing this, anytime something's incomplete, missing a shoelace, missing insoles, they usually just collect dust, so I ended up just putting those. Alright, y'all, so we are back in the crib from all this thrifting, and I was able to piece together a really good assortment of GameCube stuff, even after never coming across anything GameCube. Just in a matter of days, I came across a ton of stuff. So let me just run through it really quickly. Here was the GameCube that I picked up for 25 bucks. I used that additional 20% off, so I was able to save some money on that. And once I got home, I realized that this actually came with Mario Kart Double Dash, and just the game by itself sells for 60 bucks. So that's going to add some really good profit to that as well. And I was able to come across two of these aftermarket GameCube controllers. It was only like 2 for 4 bucks, so I'm just gonna add one of these to this system, and I'm just gonna hold on to the other one just in case I come across another one of these GameCubes. And then I ordered the AC adapter off of eBay for only $10. Of course, I needed this in order to test it out, and I'm super glad I did, because of course that's gonna add some value overall. And then I came across the Donkey Kong bongo drums. I was actually gonna sell this separately, but I ordered the game, and I'm gonna use the game to just test out the drums to make sure that they work, because if I sell the drums by itself, that'll be 30 bucks, but selling it with the game should be closer to maybe $50. So I'll go ahead and do that as long as these work out, but I'm just gonna have to wait until that game gets here. So like I said, my first time finding a Nintendo GameCube in the thrift, and I was able to piece together a really good set. And just by bundling this, I'm definitely going to sell the game separately, but just by bundling this together, I should be able to sell it for maybe $140 to $150, of course after I clean it up and make everything look really good. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, drop a comment, let me know which one was your favorite pickup, because I was able to come across some really good stuff in this video. And of course I picked up 4 of those Wiis, and I'm still just going to try to find some sensor bars, but I find Nintendo Wiis all the time without the sensor bar. So hopefully somebody on eBay is selling like a lot of like 4 or 5, and I'll be able to complete my set. But it is what it is. I'll just be patient and just wait until those sell. But like I said, drop a comment, let me know which one was your favorite pickup today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. For the winner, 'cause you felt like you was losing, only for the
I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit.